Hello, everyone. My talk today is going to be how to expand the way you channel the multidimensional energies. Well, I'm going to be talking about what is channeling, that many people actually ask, what is channeling, many of my clients, and what are the benefits of channeling, and at the same time, the different types of channeling that I work with. My name is Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, and let me tell you where the name Warrior of Love comes from. Well, the Warrior of Love comes from, I used to go to many sun dances, sweat lodges, and many of the American Indians, no, all of the American Indians, they have spiritual names. And I asked them, well, what was my name, my spiritual name? And they tell me, when you're ready, you're gonna receive that. But time passed, and I was not ready. I did not believe too much about myself. And many things happened in my life. I had a horrible marriage. And in that horrible marriage, I was the only thing, and I got sick with lupus, RA, and fibromyalgia, and depression. So in that time, that's when the only thought that I had in my mind in that time, it was how I was gonna kill myself. I was so depressed, and life for me doesn't worth it, and more because I was very ill. So I went to sleep one night, and when I went to sleep that night, my guides show up. One of my guides, main guides, show up, and she tell me, well, are you sick and tired of this life? I'm like, yes, please do something. So she took me to a precipice, and it was very dark on the bottom, and the first thing I thought is like, oh my God, it's like she told me jump. And it's like, oh gosh, I have heard that many times that if you die when you're asleep, you're not gonna wake up. So she told me, well, no problem, you can go back to your bed and everything is gonna be fine. And like always is being for you, that's for you, fine. And I started just thinking in how miserable life I had with the horrible marriage that I had, sick, and just getting worse, and just medications and so forth. So I just opened my arms and jump in that moment. Well, my life haven't been the same since then. Of course, I asked the divorce. That was the first thing that happened. And of course, I start getting healthier and healthier until I don't take any kind of medications, and the fibro's is gone. All the fibro's are gone since many years ago. But then one day I was awake, and she presented herself again. It was a being of light, and it's very hard to describe because it took me a lot to actually believe in what I was seeing, and now awake. And she told me, your name, it is Warrior of Love. And I asked her what was her name, because I was obsessed with names in that time. And she told me my name is Maia. That have changed with years because she had many names. And when I told her, well, okay, what do I do with the name Warrior of Love? It's like, it sounds like a big thing. It's like, it sounds too cool, but what do I do with it? She told me, well, you have to own it. You have to put it on. You have to understand it. And then after that, if you want to continue using it, you can continue using it or leave it. That's your choice. And I continue using it. And I actually own it. And now that's who I am. Well, I'm going to be talking about what is channeling. Channeling, basically, it is the transmission of multidimensional energies that we are the translators, the channelers. It is basically understanding the energy that we're receiving that comes in different images. It comes in photos, it comes in sensations, in aromas. It comes in many different ways. And we are basically translating that. There are many forms that we are going to be able to translate because, and there are some of them that we're not going to be able to translate like light language. Light language is help us to, we're going to be talking more about that, but it is going to help us in different ways. So we usually use telepathy. A lot of the communications are through telepathy when we're with these higher beings. And multidimensional, basically, it is at the same time, they can be with us, it can be with someone else. We're not exclusive with them in a way. Like the same energy of source. It can be with us and it can be with each one of us. And we are all channelers. The thing is we forgot. Where do you think the inspiration comes from? All the mathematicians can get or the scientists get that information. I am an artist for 47 years, and all my inspirations, like those paintings, they come from precisely my channeling. And I'm a poet too, and I discovered that was one of the uses that I've been doing it all my life. When finally one of the beings present himself and actually show me that was one of the ways I channel. But it is very important to talk about the difference between the ego and the higher self or higher beings. Because the ego is always going to try to serve itself. It is always going to try to manipulate us through fear. If we're receiving a message that is trying to control us, ego do not like changes at the same time. So it is always going to be looking outwards. What is outside of us, not what is inside of us. It loves price. It also loves to cause pain. And seeks always to be fulfilled and from outside. And also is always like the separation. You and me. The duality lives in the ego, not we. It lives also in competition and jealousy and envy and all those kind of energies that are part of all human beings. That's part of our ego. Like we can use it as for another talk, our ego to integrate ourselves because it is part of us at the same time. The difference with our higher self, it is giving us, it always gives us an advice. It never forces us to do anything. It is not in the games that it have the ego. It is unity. It is our inner authenticity. It always seeks that. It seeks our unconditional love, and we can feel that. Where we're not trying to change anything. We just accept it and see it as beautiful. Like when we have a baby that we're carrying, we just love that baby for who it is. We're not trying to say, oh, how about it was taller or smaller? We're not comparing anymore when you're in that energy. We're happy for others, for the successes. We feel fulfillment and gratitude. At the same time, there's no hierarchy when the higher beings. Like, let's say, Source is not going to say, you know what, your heart is more important than your liver. It knows Source that all your being, the unity, it is important for this life. So that is the energy of multidimensionality, not necessarily higher self only. We can channel our higher self, we can channel higher beings, we can connect also with our oversoul, we can connect with all our guides because we all have that. I'm no more special than any of you. We all have the same thing. With our ancestors too, with extraterrestrial beings, that we have a lot of us, we have connections with the galactics. I do have. With the same source, we can connect. God, angels, archangels, elementals, Lemurians, etc. We can connect with higher beings. It is important to remark that it is important to raise our vibration. So we don't have that experience of lower vibrations, and that is our choice. What we can use channeling for? It is our guidance, it's our GPS that we all have all integrated. It's not exclusivity of someone, it is exclusivity of all humans in this planet Earth. Because we understand already what it is, the unity, but we just forgot what it is. So when we are wanted information, what choice we're gonna do, what is the next move we should do, well, we can connect to that higher guidance and guide us what we really want or what it is. I've been doing it all my life. I just ask sometimes for the file, and it comes in films, and it comes in smells, it comes in feelings, or simply knowing. Or we can have telepathic communications that we're going to be talking about, the different types of channeling there exist. And don't forget that we have the biggest power as human beings. We have our free will. And with our free will, we can have the choice to connect or not. Some of us, we decided to follow our guides, and sometimes we don't. When I'm painting, sometimes we have even arguments. Don't think that it's very serious. that you can't even play jokes with them. We play jokes with each other all the time, or we argue for a color that I should put in a painting. And there's no resentment in that. That is human. That is not multidimensionality. So we have the GPS and we have the understanding, and it helps us to integrate energies too. When we're feeling the downloads, and all of us will receive it, if you're aware or not, that doesn't mean that you're not receiving that or we're not channeling. So it helps us to integrate the information that we're receiving, and it helps us heal like it did to me. Hi everyone, this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. And if you have been feeling stuck where you are right now, or if you have felt that you cannot connect with others in the same language or the same emotions that you're feeling, if you're a coach, a healer, energy worker, in any of those branches, maybe this is for you. Because we have felt the disconnection for the rest of our family, friends, that we cannot connect to them. And we're so afraid to actually go deep dive when we're getting triggered by our own clients, because we're seeing our mirror image with them. My name is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love, and that's my spiritual name. And I take clients from feeling confused and feeling stuck to feeling free, to feeling that they feel empowered from themselves. I created a system, Path to the Heart, that goes in 3 levels. And the first level, it is healing the inner child, healing the parts of us that we've been so afraid, or it's very painful to do it. I have done it myself, not only with me, and I have done it with many of my clients, that I take them to this process. The second level, it is to go more into inner self, clearing the family lineage, to breaking the contracts and vows, learning deeper more about the laws of the universe. And the third level, it is learning how to channel, how to do waking up your and getting online your gifts, your unique gifts that the world so much needs right now. So if you wanted to know more about this, I am eager to show you and to teach you all what I know that I use every day in my life. So thank you for being here in this page. I really appreciate it. And this is Monica Ramirez, the Warrior of Love. Well, one of the channelings that I like more is trance channeling. It have the pros and cons. Like one of the pros that it is, when we're talking in human language and translating the message, sometimes it have distortions, because you're hearing information and you're giving information, and sometimes it comes in feelings and it comes in emotions. So it's very difficult to actually just find the exact word that they're trying to say. So when we're channeling, in trance channeling, you go inside your body and you go to sleep in a way. You're kind of hearing, like you're hearing a conversation when you're asleep, but you're not grasping the whole thing. But it is easy for them to give the message that they want to do with less distortions that we can have. So that's one of the ones why I like that, because if they want to really give the message, it is the best way, getting out of my way so they can do that. The only problem is when you get out of there, you're not going to remember much about that conversation. I record those conversations because or else I did not grasp it all. The other one is automatic writing. We all do journaling, yes, but the way I do automatic writing is we have to get out of our way again, and our thought are the ones that brings the distortions. So you have to center yourself, and you have to remove your thought, put a pen and in your notebook, and start just ask the questions, and you start writing. In the moment you bring down your thought, that's when the distortions happen. That's when you have to stop, because the ego will go in the middle. There is also like language. That is one of my favorites. It is not in human language. It can connect to, like I mentioned, the Lemurians, to higher beings, any higher beings, like I mentioned before. And sometimes it just helps us precisely to heal and to integrate, to activate, and it helps us to do all those kind of things. That's one of my light language paintings that I do. And it can come also with like a dance, it can be, or it also comes like this. Ora mai era ayaramara yamara yaga. Ora mai yara yaramaka. Ora mai yaramaka. Iramaka yara yama. Ora mai yaramaka. Iramaka rayama. Oh, that's one of the samples of light language, and of course it can be long, and it can comes from different beings, so it sounds different. It's like different language, English, Spanish, French, etc. But it's not human, so it can come from any multidimensional being that we're connecting. The next one is the telepathic transmissions. Those are the ones that I continuously have every single day, or sometimes all day. And having these telepathic conversations, I ask, they answer. That's where we play jokes, and that's when we argue sometimes in those conversations. But you constantly can have that conversation. In the moment you put your thought, that's the only way that you can know it is your ego or actually is a higher being, like I explained before, depending on the transmission. That's our choice to differentiate. And it can come also in smells and sounds. And I can tell you a bunch of stories about the smells I have received in any of my transmissions, and that sometimes are funny and sometimes are horrible. And sometimes are amazing, like jasmines. I can tell you I have smelled from poop to roses. So it is always, it is very fascinating when you're receiving that. We all have the gifts. We just forgot how to use them. I know more special than anyone. We just have to remember. It's like practicing walking or running. And basically you're making your muscles more stronger. And that's the same thing for our gifts. The next one is arts. In the arts, of course, it comes out when I put a white canvas in front of me. I ask, okay, what is the transmission I'm going to be doing today? And of course, I'm not going to finish it in one sit. It's going to take me longer than that. I have paintings that have lasted me for a year. And I'm receiving that transmission. And it's not necessarily for you see it and you understand it exactly. It goes a lot of the times with a lot of symbolic, and it goes into your subconscious. And that's the way the majority of the artists, when they're creating something, that's how they do it. Some of them are aware. Some of them are not even aware. I was not aware all the time. I learned that. And the same applies for my poetry. Other way that we channel, it is oracles, tarots, and crystal balls. Of course, you can find the best teacher and know the best technique to read any of the oracles. But the more important thing, it is not even that teachings. It is about the message that you're receiving. That's what it is more important, more than the best technique that you can find with the best teacher that costs you millions of dollars to take that class. In resume, we learned what is channeling, what is the uses of channeling, what is the different types of channeling. My name is Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love, and I teach people now in my program, Path to the Heart, to channel, and I give us even a certification so they can learn, have the confidence to become channelers and healers at the same time. You can find me at Monica Ramirez, Warrior of Love. gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you.